Now, as a therapist, you can get a lot of traction on social media without going viral. But if you want to use somebody else's viral trend to make it work for you, come on in and let's talk about how to use trending topics to get you some clients. I have already gone on record about how you don't need to be viral to have a thriving private practice because, really, for most therapists, you're looking at maybe 10, 20, or 40 or 50 clients at best standing between you and a multi six-figure private practice. But the truth is, when you want to get a little bit more visibility, sometimes a trending topic can take you right over the top, especially when it has something to do with your niche or your dream client or anything to do with mental health that you could put your own little spin on. So let's talk about how to do that. And I'm going to use something that is actually relatively trendy right now. But before we get there, let's talk about why it's so important for therapists to use trending topics. So, first of all, when you are speaking to something that people are already talking about, already buzzing about, and you're speaking from an elevated perspective, it elevates your appearance. It makes you more of an expert, a thought leader. This is perfectly positioning you if you want to get speaking engagements, interviews, podcast connections, those things that make you seem like the expert that you are. You're not just coming from an equal playing field and saying like, oh yeah, this is crazy, but you're saying like, this is my professional opinion and people love that. But in addition, because the wave of the trend is moving on its own, it allows you to just kind of ride along with the trend as well. It puts you in front of new people that you maybe wouldn't have seen, or it gives people who already kind of knew you and liked you a different perspective of you to make you a little bit more relatable. It can be a great way to stand out, but also draw people in. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is why some therapists kind of hesitate to jump on trends or even get on social media at all. I cannot tell you the number of times that I see people who are reposting other people's stuff or liking and commenting, but have never actually posted anything themselves. So let's talk about why you might be hesitating. The most common one is the easy one, which is fear. And sometimes this is fear of looking unprofessional. Sometimes it's fear of stumbling over your words or fear of looking silly or being boring. But all of those fears can at least be minimized if you remember why you're doing what you're doing. You're actually showing up to help your audience on the other side of the camera screen. And so they're not looking for you to be perfect. They're actually just looking for you to help them feel seen, help them feel understood, or give them a way out of their discomfort that they're experiencing right now. So, next up is to find a topic that is trending. And when I say trending, remember, I'm not talking about like a dance trend or even a particular song trend. I'm talking about a topic that's getting a lot of buzz. One that I would reference in this particular instance is a recent episode of Oprah Winfrey's podcast where she talked about the trend of going no contact. Now, this is getting lots and lots of buzz, and I'm seeing lots of therapists using this to their advantage to actually make themselves really appealing to the clients that they want to serve. I've seen some using a little bit of self-disclosure and talking about, their own stories of going no contact. I've seen others using this to kind of call in people who are wrestling with that subject matter or who feel triggered by the word trend. All of these are really great things. How do you know whether or not a trend is good for you? There's 3 questions I want you to ask. Number one, is this relevant to my dream client? Not just any client, but my dream client. If it's relevant to your dream client, that's possibly a trend for you. So, for example, in the one that we're using with Oprah Winfrey, if you work well with clients who are dealing from family trauma or who are considering or have gone no contact, this might be a topic that's really relevant for you. Remember a few months back, there was somebody like a CEO who got caught cheating at a concert, right? If you are someone who works on relationships or healing after divorce or when to choose divorce, that might be a topic that would be trending for you because it's relevant to your clients. The second question is this emotionally activating? Topics that are emotionally charged naturally get the algorithm's attention, but they also are begging for somebody to be the voice of reason with just the right amount of energy and the right amount of emotion and the right amount of like activation. Those topics that are emotionally charged for your audience are a great place to start. And the last and maybe most important question is, can I ethically talk about this without sliding into that slippery slope of becoming an online therapist or opening up more harm than good in the conversation? With this one, you really would do want to use your best professional judgment. In a topic, maybe we were talking about maybe self harm or suicidality. That might be something where it's a little slipperier for the potential for people online to be soliciting specific information or specific requests, or it might invite too many DMs, especially if you're not currently accepting clients. With that, you just want to make sure you always include a disclaimer. I would encourage you, if you have any concerns, to put the disclaimer right there on the screen. But also, you can have one posted in your bio or pinned in a video to the top of your page. So back to our example, let's talk about how you position yourself and choose the right angle for you. So using our Oprah example about going no contact, maybe you might decide to choose the angle of like how to know whether or not now is the right time to go no contact. Maybe you're someone who focuses on grief and loss, and you think about how to approach going no contact or remaining no contact when you have a family member who is about to lose their life or is, terminally ill. You can talk about the cultural aspects of going no contact and how you can navigate your own cultural identity within this, greater conversation. Um, you could also talk about why going no contact isn't necessarily the goal, or even why it might not be necessary in some instances. So all of these different angles could could easily work for your practice to get new clients if you include a call to action at the end. Three things I absolutely want you to avoid. First of all, you are not diagnosing anyone online, not the person who is commenting or the person that they're talking about or any of those types of situations. Don't give any specific clinical advice online. The second thing I want you to avoid is telling people specifically what they should do. You are not their therapist. You are not privy to all the different pieces of the puzzle. So you want to make really clear that you give hypothetical or what you have told clients before or what you might tell a client in the future. And I would encourage you to be very specific about the choice of words that you use. While it's very clear that there's value in being very specific and concrete in the suggestions and discussion that you have, you don't want to use language that might present itself as you giving them advice online. Bottom line, using trending topics isn't about chasing virality. It is about answering the questions that people might be searching for based upon that trend. It's kind of a content gap. And this can give you more visibility for your brand. And with a call to action to either download a freebie, sign up for a newsletter, check out a course, an ebook, or a workshop, or even to call your office to be scheduled as a client if they're in your state where you are licensed, it can be used to grow your private practice without having to pay for a bunch of ads. When you meet your clients where they are, you bring clarity and calmness to conversations that are complicated. You rise above the noise without getting caught in the fray. And sometimes you can ride that wave right into new clients in your office who've literally been dreaming of working with you. They just didn't know you existed yet. So, are you interested in using a trending topic? Do you have a trending topic idea that you'd like me to give you my spin on? Drop it in the comments below.